If you've used Acrobat, you might know this, but if you're only a reader user, you probably think PDF files are secure by their very nature. I want to dispel that myth for you by showing you how I can make a PDF file different. I'm going to select Tools, Advanced Editing, Touch Up Text Tool, and I'm going to select the word Print Budget and hit the Delete key. Many people who interact with PDF files have no idea that this is possible. And it is possible, and if it's something that you want to do, it's great. If it's something you don't want to do, it can be disastrous. Let me put that T back and show you why it can be truly disastrous. In this case, I'm going to zoom in on a number here. I'll go back to my Advanced Editing, Touch Up Text Tool, and I'm going to give myself a much better deal on this, whatever it happens to be. For this reason, we're going to talk about securing and controlling a PDF file to either prevent this type of behavior or at least understand when this type of behavior has occurred. So let's zoom back out on our document here. And we'll start to talk about protecting a PDF file, and we're going to use the most basic way to protect a PDF file, and that's with passwords. To password protect a PDF file, all I need to do is go to the Secure Task button, click on it, and I have a variety of options that we're going to explore now. First, before I can apply a password to a PDF file, I have to create what's called a security policy. And a security policy is nothing more than a way to protect a PDF file that you then give a name so you can apply it over and over again. By selecting Manage Security Policies, I'll bring up the Manage Security Policies dialog box. And you can see that there are some security policies already built into my copy of Acrobat, and I'll explain why those are there in just a moment. You may have different ones. Acrobat ships with some default ones that I've removed so that we can add them back for the purposes of illustration. The first step that I'll take is to create a new policy. And when you select New Policy, Acrobat will begin to walk you through the process of building that policy. The type of policy that I want to use is a password-driven policy, so I'll leave Use Password selected, and I'll click Next. I'll name the policy. In this case, I'm going to call it Password-Driven. I'll also give it a description, and when you're using security policies, you definitely want to use a description so that you can understand what the policy is designed to do. You may end up with several different policies based on the kind of work that you're doing, and so you want to give yourself the ability to know what the policy is designed to do. Granted, it's a simple description, but it's effective. When working with password-driven policies, you'll want to save the passwords with your policy. What this will do is it will have you set the password into the policy as a part of it. If you deselect this, you'll be required to enter a password every time you apply the policy to a PDF file. That's okay, but it means you can enter a different password in each time you use the policy. That can have disastrous results if you forget which password you've used with a PDF file when applying the policy. So definitely save passwords with the policy. I'll click Next. And here is where I determine what the policy is. And I have some choices to make, so let's go through them. First, what's the compatibility level? Now, the compatibility determines more than just which version of Acrobat or the free reader can open the PDF file. It's also going to determine how strong the encryption can be. When I select Acrobat 7.0 and later, the encryption level is set to high 128-bit AES encryption. That's the strongest type of encryption that Adobe offers with Acrobat for a PDF file. Now, encryption is what's going to happen to the PDF file once I apply the password. It's going to essentially knot it up so that it can't be opened unless you have the password to open it. The stronger the encryption, the less likely it is that someone can hack into the PDF file and get at the information that you've encrypted. And this 128-bit AES encryption would require several years' worth of computing time on some of the fastest computers available to actually be able to break into. So this is pretty good, strong encryption. Now, what is it that you'd like to encrypt? In most cases, you'll probably choose to encrypt all of the document's contents. However, depending on the kind of policy you're building and how you intend to use it, you may choose differently. For example, you might want to encrypt all of the document contents except the metadata. Why would you do that? Well, if you were giving your PDF file to a content management system, then the content management system could still find the PDF file among the many files that it's managing, yet the encryption would still not allow you into the file unless you had the password. Another option is to encrypt only the file attachments. This is useful to create sort of an encrypted container. I can produce a PDF file that you can open all you want. In order to open the file attachments, though, you would need the password. Now, notice that when I select this whole permissions option goes away. That's because the permissions refer to the PDF pages. They really don't have anything to do with the attachments on a PDF, and so they're irrelevant for this use. We're going to create a policy that encrypts the entire document, and so I'll select that. The first step is to simply add a password. Now, remember this password. If you forget this password, you're not going to be able to find your way into this file. Trust me. I've entered my password. I will need this password when I attempt to open the document. So what I'll do is leave this selected. I'll click Next to finish off the policy. It's going to ask me to confirm the password. I'll select OK, and I'll finish. While I'm right here, I'll go ahead and apply this to the document. Notice that Acrobat is warning me. The security settings will not be applied to the document until I save the document. I'll be able to continue to change the security settings until I close the document. That's because Acrobat realizes I'm the author. I should have access to this document for as long as I want to. I'll select OK. However, once I save the document and then close it, the security settings will be in effect. I'm going to do a Save As, and I'll put this one on the desktop and select Save, and then I'll close it. Let me show you what happens. I'll choose File, Open, click on Desktop, double-click, and here I'm required to type in the password. I'll enter an incorrect password. Acrobat will not let me open the document. However, if I have the correct password, I'm able to get back into the document and I'm ready to go.